Welcome to Politics Done Right. My name is Egberto Willies, your host. Welcome to Politics Done Right. We had that little snuffle. Anyway, we are going to have a great show for you today, folks. Good morning, Houston. Good morning, Harris County. Good morning, Texas. Good morning, the United States of America. Good morning, of course, to the world. We are going to have a great show for you today. But before we even get started, we pass it all along to our great geniuses in the control room, Dr. Howard Reynolds. And of course, we have Jack Van Bibber. But before he starts, I want to say something. Today is the beginning of a new day because at 9:30, we get a new show hosted by the one and only, who again? Howard Reynolds. Hey, Howard, what's good?
Oh, the train wreck will start about 9:31.
Program.
That's right. It's called End of the Great Wide Open Train Wreck. We got a lot of special guests going to show up too. We're in pledge drive, of course, and we've got some folks that are coming in to help me pitch for bucks. Say, give me that money.
I love that.
Speaking of which, let's start it off with a pitch here, Egberto, because this is a community radio station. We don't play commercials. We don't have that revenue coming in. We depend on the listener. We depend on you who are listening to this radio station to support us. 713-526-573 at extension number 1 to make a donation. kpft.org. You can see some of the list of fabulous stuff you can get. These are thank you gifts, folks. We're not selling this stuff. These are gifts that we've put together and gift packages we put together to say thank you for supporting community radio. And we will thank you very much for supporting community radio and Egberto's show too. Jack, you got some wisdom for us today? Because I've just about run out of my wisdom.
Well, it is Fun Drive. And, this is KPFT, hippy dippy, subversive, free speech radio for peace.
Well,
that's what we are. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, please.
No, I'm done. No wisdom today.
Oh, well, actually, just you speaking, my brother, is wisdom. So what can I say? Listen, folks, we are going to have a great show for you today. On the show today, we are going to have, of course, this story really touched me in the heart because I don't know about you, but when I was just got out of college and watching the Olympics, and there's this little girl. She's not all that young. She's not much younger than I am. But I remember her tumbling, and she was America's darling as she did the tumbling and brought home the gold in the Olympics. Mary Lou Retton, loved the young lady. And I remember how she tumbled and looked and all of that. And there's a story that I want to bring up, and that ties into what we talk about all the time, our medical system. And, a lot of people may have things that they want to say about her and why this situation occurred. I'm going to just touch on that. But I think the bigger issue is the kind of healthcare system that we have that I really, really want to touch on. Anyway, so the title of the show today is Scalise Quits Speaker Race, Mary Lou Retton and Healthcare. Al Sharpton exposes the MSM by mistake. So Scalise jumped out of the speaker's race as the GOP civil war expanded. Our predatory healthcare system has taken down Mary Lou Retton, a millionaire. Al Sharpton exposes an inside the game secret in the media that actually affects coverage. And that is where I am, in fact, going to start. But before I start, I want to remind folks that we're in Fund Drive, as Brother Howard had to say. And I want to thank some folks that great people that called in, or that after the show was over, donated to the show, specifically Sharon and Dan Wilcott Cavill. Thank you so kindly for your contribution to Politics Done Right. As well, I want to thank Hermina Frederick, who gave a contribution to Politics Done Right. and you talk. We could not do this without you at all. Remember that our contributions today, those who become sustaining members, that means people who give $5 a month or $10 a month or $15 a month or $20 a month, we have a contributor that will match that by $50. So every time you give, every time you become a sustaining member, you actually get we get another $50 to support the great work that many people come into KPFT and do on a volunteer basis. So please give us a call at 713-526-5738. Again, that number is 713-526-5738. Many ways that you can reach us, folks. Please remember to go to kpft.org. kpft.org. That is how you can either listen to the feed if you don't want to listen on air. You can also donate by clicking the donate button there. Please remember to select Politics Done Right as the program that you're supporting, so that the people who do all the magic will understand that, yes, you do want Politics Done Right to stay on air. You do want to continue listening to Politics Done Right. That is kpft.org. Hit the donate button and we'll get there. Go ahead as well. kpft.org. See all that we have to offer. We'll tell you a few things later on, but I want to start here with Al Sharpton. But before I can do Al Sharpton, welcome Eric Hayes. Welcome Melanie Keelan from Barcelona, Spain. Eric starts by saying inflation is up. I haven't seen those numbers yet, but if inflation is up, I wonder why. It's not the responsibility of, before I want folks to understand this. Anytime we hear about inflation, we automatically look at government and want to blame government. Government is we the people. I want to remind people of something. We are a mostly private economic system in this country. And whenever you hear things like inflation is up, our plutocrats have done a magical thing. They have been able to pay politicians to carry the water for them. At the same time, they've been able to decide what the pricing is going to be on every one of our products, irrespective of whether that product is scarce or not. They've been able to decide that. But at the same time that they decide all these things, somehow they have been able to con the American people to believe that inflation, etc., is mostly caused by our government policies. The biggest racket there is, inflation, blame Trump. Inflation, blame Biden. Inflation, blame all. Inflation is the one thing that rarely you should ever blame your government, because it's greed most of the times that causes corporations to raise prices. If you want to know why prices go up, look at the stock market. Whenever a company says, our profits have gone through the roof, more so than anybody else's profit, most of that profit isn't coming from they got more efficient, they're making more product. It goes from sticking you with the bill. It goes by taking your money from you and putting it into the pockets of the few who own the corporations. So wisen up, please. As long as you are out there believing that your government, we the people, are the reason prices go up, they win, because they can continue to do it knowing that they'll take no blame for being the cutthroat legal thugs that they are. People, please, let's get sensible. If we get sensible and smart, we can stop corporations from ripping us off. We can stop them from controlling our government. And we can really be a democracy that we want to be, where we are the ones in control. We, the people. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union. We, the people. But as long as the corporations having you believe that that government is bad, remember when a corporation says the government is bad, they're saying you are bad, because government is nothing more than we, the people. And what do I mean? We elect them, and they choose what the state of our government looks like. So please, please, let's wise up about who causes us problems and assign blame accordingly. And if we do so, I bet if corporations know that we know the reason eggs went up is not because of the avian flu, because that's been gone for a while now. It's because you chose that after the avian flu went away and you've rebuilt your stocks, etc., that you were going to keep those prices higher than they used to be, even as your profit margin zoomed. It's not government that did that. It's your private company that did that. Do I hear anybody going to these private companies and saying, why is it that your profit is way up and you're still sticking us with the price? Why is it that you're doing that? Don't blame government. Assign blame where it belongs. When you go to your gas pump and see $2, $3 gas, $4 gas, don't go to government and blame government. Ask the oil companies, how comes that there is a glut of oil on the market and still you keep those prices high until the glut gets so big that you're forced to drop it because you got to find somewhere to store the oil. And since you're filling up your storage tanks, you have to store the rest in the air by making it cheap so people can burn the whole smithereen and store it in our atmosphere. That then causes us heat, stroke, and everything else. People, let's wise up, man. Let's stop allowing them to think of our minds as feeble. Inflation is not caused by your government in the aggregate. It's caused by corporations raising your prices to give your money, to transfer your money to the wealthy few who own stocks, who own the companies that actually raise the prices. That is what raises prices. Don't let them fool you about regulations and all of that. That's hogwash. And if you doubt it, critically think it through. Step 1, production. Does the farmer make any more money? No. So all these products that you're buying, does the farmer make more money? No. But his cost for fertilizer goes up. His or her cost for fertilizer goes up. Trying to find water for irrigation goes up. Come on, let's get smart. And farmers that are out there, stop voting against your own interests, my brother farmers and sister farmers. Stop voting against your interest. All right. A lot of the reasons why, and even with this narrative that I just spoke about there, if you really want to understand why it is we are ill-informed, misinformed, etc., I want you to listen to this exchange. I'm not going to talk Israel and Palestine at KPFT. I will not. So if you're going to call about Israel and Palestine, I am not going to speak about it on the KPFT show because, again, it is hard in a 1-hour show to have a rational discussion where one has to cater words, etc., etc. So that is one subject I won't cover, but I'm going to touch on it on the Al Sharpton show. If you want to hear a lot of real fact-based opinion on that, I do that on my 3:00 show where I don't have the constraints of being on the FCC, all that good stuff. Now, I want to show you what makes the media dangerous. And very few people are going to, when they're listening to this program, get it. But the subtlety of what Al Sharpton said, it's a few words within this 4-minute segment, but I need you to listen to it. And then I explained it a little bit later. Let's go ahead and do that. And then we'll take it on the other side. Check this piece out with Al Sharpton because I think he slipped up a bit. What you think? Let me play it and then we'll take it on the other side.
murderers, the government of the United States and everybody else needs to do what they can, because we're talking about people that have no cause of human life. They're not trying to get a two-state solution or any solution. They're trying to wipe people out, and we can't let it happen.
They don't want a two-state solution. They want a final solution.
And the final solution is killing people. And I'm glad that Jonathan came out talking about the language. And I know you had very positive conversations with people here at the top of the network, because as we are objective in how we cover sides, we've got to tell the people who the sides are. That's and right. Not mislabel people. And I think that the leadership here understood that in your conversation.
And listen to Barry. This is not right or wrong. This is not some academic debate. This is good versus evil. It is evil that makes one think that it is okay to burn an elderly woman alive in her home and record it. It is evil that lets someone think to execute children in front of their parents and then drag those people into Gaza as hostages. And it is evil to blame Israel for, again, the mutilation and desecration of her citizens. That's what's happening in places right here. And these people will have to reckon for the rest of their lives. But if you are a CEO and you spoke out on these other issues, if you are a university president and you spoke out on these other issues, if you are a politician or a candidate who spoke on these other issues, we are waiting and watching for you to speak out now.
I don't know if you understood what I was trying to get out of here. So let me explain. Did you hear what Al said? He looked at the guy and he said, I know you had positive conversations with the higher ups at NBC about this, and I know you're happy with the conversations that you had. That was scary because he has access. That Palestinian lawyer, you notice how she started our conversation? You gave him the ability to say these things. I wish you would give more of us the ability to tell our story. And what Al Sharpton did there is he pointed out and he made it clear that some people have access to how the news is going to be told. And if you notice right now, the big propaganda machine is on. Look, I don't know how much I can tell folks how I feel. I have a daughter, I got a wife, I got a mother, I got an aunt, all these people that Hamas murdered, that Hamas annihilated, those were terrorist acts, those were bad things that they did. Yes, it was. But, and it's a very important but, that they don't want to have a but. If you want to solve problems, you have to allow what allows these things to happen. What allows Palestinians in Gaza to hide terrorists that are doing certain things or to protect them? Why do they do that? I look at it sort of similar to how MAGA goes on to Trump, a person that has no good thing for them, has no policies to help them. In fact, hurts them, uses them for their ulterior goal. I look at the relationship between MAGA and Trump as a similar relationship between some Palestinians and Hamas. That's the strong man you're putting your hopes on because you feel like you otherwise have no hopes. In the case of the Palestinians, how many people come to their defense? How many people are brave enough to say, you have been wronged as well? And I just use that as the example of how those with access can form the message. And then the population at large goes ahead and builds on the message that they believe to be true and fact-based. Earlier, Eric said on the chat, inflation, and immediately blames Biden. And why is that the case? Those who have access to the media, the corporations, they give the impression that regulations and all these other issues are the reason why we have inflation. And the body politic, the most Americans out there, they sit back and that is what they're told. That is what they learned. They have a trusted source in the mainstream media, and the mainstream media tells them these things. And that becomes the modus operandi. That becomes the things that they believe. So then somebody comes across and says, wait a minute. That's not how it works. It takes that much of a hill, of a mountain to climb to change the opinion that one had, that was inculcated into their minds with the constancy of the mainstream media. Inflation, government policy, inflation, government policy. When it is inflation, corporate greed, inflation, corporate greed, inflation, corporate greed. That's the majority of inflation. That's the majority of why you make as little money as you have. And that's the reason Mary Lou Retton is in the condition that Mary Lou Retton is in right now. But I digress. I stopped temporarily to do a quick pitch. I beg and ask that you stay with me. We're going to go to Mary Lou Retton next. But here's the deal. Politics done right has to raise, during this fund drive, $5,000. And we do it. We pull some in every day of this fund drive. So I want to ask you so kindly to spend this 3 or 4 minute pitch that I'm going to do right now. I'm not going to go into Mary Lou right away, to give us a call at 713-526-5738. Again, that number is 713-526-5738. And donate, contribute, whatever you can. If you like what we talk about here, if you like that we're out here giving you the unadulterated truth, and that we listen to what you have to say, and that we know that you are a part of the what should be that which informs America, I ask you so kindly to give us a call at 713-526-5738. Hit extension number 1 this time, not 2. 2 is to talk to me, and I'm going to be taking calls for you to talk to me or whatever you want to say. But I ask you so kindly, 713-526-5738. Make that call and donate what you can. If you decide to become a sustaining member, which I ask if you can, give the show a coffee a month. That is like a $5 contribution. Or if you have more that you think we're worth it, give us $10 a month or whatever you can. 713-526-5738. You can honestly get, I was reading and it said honestly, you can also get my the Politics Done Right t-shirt. It's a $100 contribution. Please consider doing that as well. $100 contribution gets you the t-shirt. You can also, there are a lot of different offers there. So if you go to kpft.org and hit the donate button, you will get the option to do that as well. So I ask you so kindly, call 713-526-5738. And I hope Howard is ready. Ask Howard to take over. Give me a little 1.5 minute pitch before we go on to Mary Lou Retton.
Egberto, I am ready. And I have, Jack has just handed me our thank you gifts. Let's see, what do we have here? House of Blues coming up on November the 6th. We got The Fix. It's a pair of standing room only tickets for $120 pledge. Brittany Howard will be performing at the House of Blues on November 14th. Got 8 pairs of standing room only, 8 pairs of tickets. I think it's $120 per pair of tickets. Let's see, what else do we have? McGonagall's Mucky Duck. Yes. South Austin Moonlighters. Yeah, they're going to be good. Those guys were here in the studio when they played for us. Got a pair of tickets, the bar seats, for a $90 pledge. That's not bad at all. Jeff Blankenhorn, whom we all know and love, got a pair of bar seats for him for a $120 pledge on November the 2nd.
That's 7 p.m.
A 7 o'clock show. I don't know how they do their shows, but
9:30 CS2.
Oh yeah, there we go. Jack, you are invaluable to me this morning. My second pair of eyes is Jack Van Bever here. Let's see, what else do we have? Oh, the bricks, the memory bricks. For the sustainers, now the sustainers will get memory bricks so we can put them on our plaza. We're calling it Weinman Plaza out front. So we're going to be doing the memory bricks here. Okay, let's see. Oh, it says do not use. Oh, do not remove. Okay, yeah, do not remove the memory bricks once we put them in. $25 a month will get you a 4x8 memory brick, and you can write whatever you want to on there, your name, or you can do a $50 a month, an 8x8 memory brick, and you can also write some kind of slogan that you want. I think Jack would say, Van Beber, Jack Wisdom on his brick. So that's some of the stuff that we've got. And once again, we're not selling this stuff, okay? It's not on sale. It is a thank you gift from us to you for supporting our radio station. And it's very important that you support the radio station because we don't have commercials. We don't want to have, wake you up in the morning with some screaming car dealer, come on down and buy a car from me. To hell with that, man. Support this radio station. How about that? Does that work for you? I think it does.
Hey, look, man, thank you, my brother, for helping out there with that pitch. Okay, folks, next subject is, and don't forget, folks, call 713-526-5738. The number again is 713-526-5738, or go to kpft.org. Remember to select Politics Done Right as a show that you're supporting. Alma of Earthia says, honestly, most of the people I'm seeing on TV talking about this latest Israeli-Palestinian conflict incident look like actors. There's almost no history given. Coverage is very one-sided. Look, like I said, I'm not going to talk about that on the air on KPFT, but I get your point, Alma. You're absolutely right that there's so little context. Now, there's one thing I do want to say: people can listen to Ali Velshi, Ayman Yeldin, as well as Mehdi Hassan. They are very honest with the coverage that they're given on this entire conflict, etc. That's going on. But anyhow, look, let's talk about Mary Lou Retton. I love Mary Lou. I remember what Mary Lou did during the Olympics. This was a powerhouse woman. Well, according to the New York Times, when Mary Lou Retton, the decorated Olympic gymnast, accrued medical debt from a lengthy hospital stay, her family did what countless Americans have done before them: turn to crowdfunding to cover the bills. On Tuesday, Miss Retton's daughter started a fundraising campaign on social media for her mother, who she said was hospitalized with a rare pneumonia. We ask that if you could help in any way, that one, you pray. Two, if you could help us with finances for the hospital bill. McKenna Keller, Miss Retton's daughter, wrote in the post on Spot Fund, a crowdfunding platform similar to GoFundMe. The public swiftly responded. The public, we the people, swiftly responded with thousands donating $350,000 in less than 2 days, shattering the goal of $50,000, which is what the daughters wanted to raise. The United States has the highest healthcare prices in the world. Each year, 250,000 Americans start funding campaigns to pay medical bills. The Spot Fund post for Miss Retton, 55, did not share many details about her costs, but note that she did not have health insurance. Now, I stop there. I digress. Mary Lou Retton, according to everything that I researched last night, is worth somewhere on the order of $2 million. Likewise, I understand from what I read last night that she has a 9,000 square foot house in Houston somewhere. I think that's what it is what I read. I also read on other sources. Now, these are not as reliable, but I'm bringing this up because this is not. I'm bringing this up in the Mary Lou Retton context, but not as something firmly that I know of Mary Lou, because I mean, like I said, I love the young lady who gave us a lot of, with her, all these things that she did and brought us the gold, etc. But also read that she was, and I don't know this for a fact, but there are commentary on Reddit that said she's been known to be anti-vaxxer. So many people believe that she is in the hospital with maybe some sort of COVID pneumonia. I do not know that for a fact. I'm bringing that up just to give a context to many people that would have had that situation. And also, we know that she was against, I think it was Obamacare during the times that, we were going through all this sort of stuff. So, assuming those things are true, right? Some look at, personal responsibility dictated that assuming that you're still a millionaire, why would it that you don't have health insurance? Also, why is it if you have quite a bit of assets, are you doing a GoFundMe? And because of your notoriety, your who you are, you're able to bring. You should be able to afford insurance, but your notoriety allows you to have garnered $350,000 in 2 days. According to the New York Times, a growing body of research suggests that much of crowdfunded campaigns' success boils down to two factors outside a patient's control, including race and income, and that funding often directs resources to those who need them the least. So crowdfunding, the people who are very successful in crowdfunding generally are the ones who need it the least. A 2022 study of cancer patients fundraisers found that those run by patients in poor neighborhoods tended to raise the least money, leading the authors to conclude that online crowdfunding may exacerbate socioeconomic disparities in cancer care. Poorer patients may struggle to generate donations because of bias against them as lazy or undeserving of help, said Jeremy Snyder, a professor of health science on Simon Fraser University in Canada and author of a book of ethics in crowdfunding. And richer patients are often boosted by their social networks. If you have a lot of wealthy friends or live in a wealthy community, those are a lot more people who can potentially donate. Racial and gender disparities also exist in crowdfunding. Dr. Kenworthy and her colleagues analyze what makes a GoFundMe successful by looking at 827 highest performing campaigns. She found that young white men coping with unexpected medical crisis tend to attract the most support, while Black women were underrepresented among successful campaigns. So, I think Mary Lou makes a good template of everything we talk about on this program. I want Mary Lou Retton to have had, whether Mary Lou Retton was irresponsible in not having health insurance. From the time I came to this country, I found a way to make sure I was always insured so that if something happened, I wouldn't be, let me just put in quotes, a burden to society. But at the same time, I want those who cannot afford health care, those who were irresponsible in not getting health care. As a humanist, as a humane person, I want everyone who gets sick to be afforded health care. I think that's the only human thing, and that can only happen if we have health care for all, universal health care system provided by, or not provided by, but paid for by we the people. In other words, we shouldn't have to worry about private insurance. We should have to worry about paying our taxes so that everybody can have insurance. Everybody can know that we value life. You cannot say you value life. You cannot say you're pro-life if you do not support health care for all, irrespective of who was irresponsible or unable to purchase private health care. And it shows you that it hits everybody. It hits a millionaire like our gymnastic hero, Mary Lou Retton, to just about anybody else. It is important, folks, that we understand that if it can happen to Mary Lou Retton, think about all your brothers and sisters who are of little means, who can't go to a GoFundMe and hope to raise $350,000 in 2 days to solve their problems. We have to be more humane. We have to really be pro-life. Pro-life meaning not what many on the right call pro-life. Pro-life meaning you believe in sustaining the life of your brothers and sisters. Come on in, Harry.
Good morning, Senor Roberto Willis. You're absolutely
Good morning,
right.
sir. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good, and I heard your constructive criticism from Monday. I kind of messed that call up at the end when you wanted me to give you a one-liner. I thought about that. I should have just talked about.
No. Hey, please, brother. I love you, man. We're having fun. This is nothing about apology or nothing. We're having fun with you, man.
But you were right. I thought about what you said. You said, give me one liner, and I gave you 10 because I was feeling strong about what Bart did. And I heard what Bart said the other day when you guys were talking about Whitmire and Sheila Jackson Lee, and I just feel that he's off his rocker. And I enjoyed what Melissa said about that because I just felt he was unfair with Sheila Jackson Lee. But as far as Mary Lou Retton, if it could happen to Mary Lou Retton, it could happen to the new darling that people love, Simone Biles, who had some psychological difficulties, and she had to deal with that crazy doctor did to a lot of those gym.
Right.
She came out about that. But it's just I'm glad I read some stuff on that about Mary Lou Retton's daughter, what she's doing. I hope Mary Lou Retton gets everything she needs because I watched the 1984 Olympics. I watched her pole vault over the horse vault and her gymnastic routine, and she was the darling of the Los Angeles Olympics there. And I hope she gets everything she needs and that she gets better with this and gets over this pneumonia. And I'm praying for her. I'm praying for her salvation and her health. But
thank you.
I'll talk a little bit about Al Sharpton. I do listen to Sunday Morning Live, Al Sharpton on Sundays on 102.1 station here in Houston. And he does say a lot of good things. I'm glad he said those things and is calling out what's happening with Israel and the Palestinians. I don't want to go into that. That's just a very delicate situation, and it's a very difficult situation. But I like the things he said about genocidal wipeout, and because that is what's happening. But I'll go further. When you were talking about at the top of your show, don't be snowed by these neoliberals. Don't be snowed by conservative politicians that try to tell you these lies. You listen to shows like Politics Done Right. You listen to Tom Hartman. You listen to Ali Velshi. You guys are edifying and honest because you care about people. Those people tell regular people a bunch of lies and how they're being hosed and talking about how the government is the problem, as Ronald Reagan said. Government is not the problem. A lot of people forget when Ronald Reagan did run for office, and he used to do those ads when he was running as candidate Reagan, and he was talking about, I did it in California as Governor Reagan. Well, California's budget has to be passed. So they can't have deficit financing where it's, you run up the debt and you have a deficit. That has to be balanced. That's why he was able to do that in California. And then then when he became president, he's up here talking about government as the problem. Tom Hartman talks about that a lot on his show. And then you listen also to people like Arnie Arnesen. Arnie Arnesen had a good show, but right before your show. people like you guys tell the truth, and you try to help the American public so they're not snowed by these plutocrats, these oligarchs and autocrats, and people like Larry Summers, people like that who are always on the side of the wealthy. And you listen to people like Robert Reich, who you've interviewed, and Bernie Sanders. Those are the people, common people who are not wealthy. Listen to those people, because then you will get the truth, and you won't get snowed, and you won't get duped and fall into this crap about government being the problem.
Thank you very much, Harry, for your always insightful commentary. And let me go ahead. I have to do a quick pitch before I go into the other subject, but thank you so kindly for calling in, my brother.
Howard. I want to say one thing about Howard. I believe he played some Peter White before your show started. And I did call Howard the other day, congratulating him on his new show. And I will call him today for some requests. And he's got a beautiful voice for music and radio. And also, I enjoy Jack Van Dever's enlightening, edifying comments as usual.
I could not agree any better with both Howard and Jack. Those are two gems at KPFT.
Yes, they are. And you listen to people like them, because Howard and Jack also care about the people when it's about voting. And as Jack mentioned, I think yesterday, when he said again what Randy Rhodes said when I first heard that, privatize the profit, socialize the cost. They socialize the cost onto us regular Americans who can't afford these things that wealthy Americans can afford. So that's why you don't listen to those people, as I just laid out, that try to sell you.
Thank you, Harry. Harry, gotta go and try to ask folks to keep us on the air a bit longer. So thank you so kindly, my brother, for calling in. All right. All right, folks, please give us a call, 713-526-5738. Let me just tell you, I'm at the Big Donut Hole right now in contributions for this show. I am at the Big Donut Hole, meaning zero. Nobody has called in to contribute or done it online yet. So I'm asking you. So no.
This is wrong.
I know. I guess they want me kicked off of the air. I think they don't want me here.
No, I don't think that's what it is. I don't think that's what it is at all. They're reaching for their wallet is what they're doing.
That's what it is. 713-526-5738. Yesterday, we had some good contributors. We want to ask you to become one today. And, I would love to have somebody who has never contributed as well. A lot of the folks who contributed yesterday, they're existing folks that continue to support us drive after drive after drive. Could we get a few people who have never contributed? Whatever you can. I don't care what it is, whatever you can. Give us a call at 713-526-5738. And if you become a sustainer, $5 a month, $10 a month, $15, whatever you want, it's going to be matched by somebody who's going to give us another $50 on top of what you're contributing. But again, you don't even have to go with a sustainer. You can just give us a one-time donation. 713-526-5738. Hit the number 1 to donate, and then call back, hit the number 2 to talk to us. Likewise, folks, please go ahead and go to kpft.org, and that gives you the list of different things you can get. The Politics Done Right t-shirt, $100. The KPFT t-shirt, I think it's also $100. You don't have to donate this all at once. You can do it in bits and pieces. So please go to kpft.org. Be sure to select Politics Done Right as the show you're supporting. But please call 713-526-5738. I want it to show up on my screen so I can tell you thank you before I leave the show today. Could you do that right now? It takes you about 1-2 minutes max to contribute on air. To contribute by calling 713-526-5738 and hit the number 1. It takes you about a minute or 2 to give that contribution. And likewise on the internet at kpft.org if you hit the donate button. I'm going to stop for now and go to Bard. Bard, come on in, sir.
Yes, sir. I just wanted to go after Harry a little bit because he went after me the other day, telling me how America's not great when he is actually among the 1% richest people in the world. He has the freedom to speak his mind, to come on this radio program and spew his nonsense and babble. And I'm tired of it. He's complaining. The government's not coming to rescue you, Harry. You got to go and get your own job and go to work. Get off the porch. And one last thing, Harry. Mary Lou Retton is not a pole vaulter. She was a gymnast. So,
okay. She does, but she did. Yeah, she did. She did the vault too, didn't she? Hey, Bart.
What?
Didn't she do the vault as well? I think she was great on the vault. That's where she hurt her ankle. You remember?
Not a pole vault.
Oh, not a pole vault. I got you. Not a pole vault. Okay, let me look. Since let me just say this, okay? Just like I would defend you, I am going to defend Harry. All right? It's free speech. We all believe in free speech. Just like you come on air and you have free speech to say what you want to say, Harry can as well. Now, when it comes to, there's one particular, comment you made about Harry that I'd like to address as far as I'm concerned. It is very good that some people can say, I can get up, go do and perform no matter what. That is not what our real society looks like. There are things like mobility. There are things like gentrification. There are many things that put obstacles in the way of people to move forward. And as a very intelligent listener in you, Bard, I know that you are. I know that there are certain media out there that will give you the impression that the case is you can lift yourself up by your bootstraps. And I know a lot of people believe that. Hell, I used to believe that. I thought I lift myself up by the bootstrap until I started calculating and doing some critical thinking and remembering that, Bart, by the way, Bart, you pay a lot of taxes, don't you?
Yes, I do.
And I want to thank you. I want to thank you for making me who I am, or assisting in making me who I am, because of what you did and the taxes you paid.
It's not my choice.
Say that again. Say that again.
I said, believe me, it is not by choice.
Okay, but what I'm saying, whether it's by choice, whether it's by choice or not, your deed made sure that there were many hundreds of thousands, millions of people that are successful today, that got the education that they needed, that got the healthcare that they needed. Someday I'm going to expect that you'll understand that the system works for you as well. But thank you, my brother. Let me jump to the other caller, but anything else you want to say real quick? 15 seconds.
Save us. The government is not coming to save us. It's up to each man, personal responsibility, go to work, get a job.
I am sure Harry believes in personal responsibility. Sir, let me tell you, Bart, hold on. Don't leave yet. Let me tell you something. All right. Don't let the labels fool you at all. But since we're in fund drive and I have to raise a little bit of money, I'm going to let you go right now so that I can do a quick pitch before I go to the next subject. All right, brother?
Thank you.
Peace. All right, folks. Look, I'm still at a donut hole and I need to ask you guys to kindly call in and support the station, 713-526-5738. Again, that number is 713-526-5738. Hit extension number 1, and you can contribute to the program however much you want to. There are several ways you can support us. Anybody who comes in with a sustainer means you give us $5 a month or $10 a month or $15 a month, $25 a month, we get an extra $50 from a person who said, for all the sustainers, we're going to give $50. So please go ahead and if you can become a sustainer. Otherwise, just donate whatever you can. A $40 donation makes you a voting member. I repeat, a voting member of the Pacifica Network and KPFT. A voting member of Pacifica Network and KPFT. I want to give a very huge and big thank you to our first contributor of the morning. That is James and Yvonne. Thank you so kindly for supporting our program. We honestly cannot do that without you. We need about 5 more people in this next 10 minutes that we got to support us. 713-526-5738. Again, that number is 713-526-5738. And let me throw it to Brother Howard Reynolds.
And in my best announcer voice, here is Jack Van Beber.
Egberto, we got some gifts, some concerts and stuff for people to go see here for their pledges. On October 19th, we have War and Treaty at the Heights Theater, 339 West 19th Street. 1 pair of reserved gallery tickets for $180 pledge. Yeah. There's going to be, an evening with Bruce Hornsby. October the 25th, that's a Wednesday, for a $180 pledge. And those are gallery standing tickets. Trombone Shorty, 1 pair of standing tickets, $150 pledge. That's Sunday the 10th.
I didn't even know Bruce Hornsby was still around.
October. Well, yeah. He's been around. I've seen him on the deal before. We have Band of Heathens, November the 16th. A pair of gallery reserve tickets for $180 pledge and 2 pairs of gallery seats for $120 pledge. We have Hayes Carl. Oh, Hayes Carl.
Love Hayes Carl.
Okay. December the 1st, Friday, December the 1st, 1 pair of gallery reserve tickets for a $200 pledge. 2 pairs of gallery seats for $150 pledge. And then Saturday, December the 2nd, there are 2 pairs of gallery seats for $100.50 pledge. Radney Foster, December the 9th, Saturday, 1 pair of reserved gallery tickets for a $200 pledge and 2 pairs of gallery seats for $150 pledge. So there's lots of gifts out here for the people to pledge for and go see some of these shows.
And support KPFT. I'm really excited about Hayes Carl shows. Hayes Carl is great. He is so much fun.
He is. He's a blast.
All right, now back to you, Egberto, since we've hijacked your show here.
No, you guys are wonderful. Thank you so kindly. Hey, guys, thank you for listening to the show. And as you can see, I try to bring you as much content, even during our pledge drive. I still go ahead and do my research, and you can still go ahead and all the things that I can't cover because either you call in and you come first, or because we have to spend a little bit of time pitching, you can still go to the newsletter, politicsandright.com/newsletter. And we have all the links to the videos and items and topics that we intended to give for the show of the day. My newsletter goes out at 5 every morning automatically. I write it the night before about what we're going to cover to make sure that we have good content, either reframing or whatever we have to do to make sure you hear the unadulterated truth. Anyway, the next subject is Steve Scalise. Steve, he's no longer, he took himself out of the speakership race. And right now we are in a dangerous position. We have a government that is currently non-functional for all practical purposes because we don't have the Speaker of the House. I want you guys to think about that. This has never happened before. When people talk about the current crop of MAGA Republicans in Congress causing harm to our country, this is what we're talking about. This is evidence right now of what we're talking about. Never has this happened in our country, not during the Civil War, not during the Vietnam War, not during the World War II, during World War I. None of these things, not during the Depression. Never has this happened before. I think we ought to be very cognizant of who we elect, the maturity of the persons we put into office, and whether they are out there to serve us or to serve themselves. It is so important for us to make sure and understand when we say we, the people of the United States, as far as our government is concerned, it is true. We, the people. And also we must reflect, we must understand that the government that's there reflect who we were at the time that we made the vote. I repeat, the government that we have reflect who we were at the time that we made the vote. The good thing about a democracy, is we have the ability to learn. We have the ability to atone. We have the ability to say, you know what? We screwed up and we can change it. We have very important elections coming up in 2024. Understand who runs this country. You do. We only have about 2 minutes left, so I want to ask you so kindly once again, please give us a call at 713-526-5738, hit extension 1, and contribute whatever you can. If you do $5 a month, $10 a month, or $15 a month, $20 a month, $25 a month, whatever it is, we have somebody that's donating, matching that contribution with $50. You can give us $40. That gives you a voting membership in the Pacifica Network, KPFT as well. If our T-shirt, $100 contribution, you get our T-shirts. It's a nice, beautiful T-shirt. Check it out online at kpft.org. But please consider becoming a member of our team, kpft.org. Click that donate button, and I'm going to throw it right back to Howard.
Well, I feel so much smarter now that I've listened to Egberto. And the tragic part about it is some little pipsqueak decided that it would be a good idea to cripple the government to feed his own ego. I mean, yeah, okay, there were some mistakes made, but that just grinds the whole thing to a stop. So that's disgusting. Remember, vote these bums out. Vote them out and support KPFT. And now for some wisdom from Jack. He's got his wisdom pad here. Go ahead.
This morning I did write something, and it kind of went along with your program. And it's there's spiritual calling out there for the people to reexamine their values. Are we going to let the corporate take over our lives as they almost already have? Are the people going to stand up and resist fascism or submit to corporate will?
Vote them out.
Vote them out.
Thank you so kindly, Jack and Howard, for all that you do. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Thank you for calling. Thank you very much, James and Yvonne, for your kind contributions. Please note that you can still contribute to Politics Done Right this minute. Call 713-526-5738. Do let them know that you're donating to in support of Politics Done Right so that we'll be attributed appropriately. 713-526-5738. Or go to kpft.org and hit that donate button. My name is Egberto Willis. This is Politics Done Right, and you know how I end this, baby. I am what? Out.
We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead. Number 1, subscribe to our channel. And number 2, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.